to get comfortable?
Yeah. Isaac, I think you make some really awesome points. And from my perspective of being at the state government, my mind also goes toward how can we be inclusive in all aspects of our programming. So whether that's strategic planning or a specific program or with a larger system. With that being said, I'd like to give a little background on Title V and give you the perspective as to why I'm bringing this to the table. So Title V is a maternal and child health block grant. Part of those funds, about 30%, go toward children and youth with special healthcare needs. We currently fund 5 different contractors with different missions and different ways that they're impacting this population. And so I've noticed 3 different areas where we're falling a little bit short. So first of all is our funding amount is fairly low for the population size that we're working with, especially as we're overlapping with so many different divisions and collaboration needs to occur. Second, in our previous and current strategic planning efforts, the majority of people who are on stakeholder groups are providers, program staff, and family voice. And so no one from the population we're serving is being included. So I feel like we're missing the boat there. And lastly, we don't require contractors to be trained or explicitly engaged in inclusivity efforts within the programs. So based on those 3 areas, I wanted to be a little bit more targeted into what some action steps could be. So one would be providing a yearly training for contractors around disability inclusion. And also using the Consumer Advisory Council to help inform Children's Special Health Services strategic plan and block grant needs. So those are just a few areas of improvement that I saw. And Isaac, I'd love to hear from you to see if there are any other avenues that you'd think we should explore.
I do think we need to be intentional in providing training around best practices when interacting and supporting participation of persons with a disability. Are we ensuring accommodations for successful outcomes in these interactions? Are we going beyond token people? Training is important, but now that you understand differently, what will you do with it? How will it impact daily work, projects, and priorities? How is it ensured that training results in X desired outcome? Nothing about us without us is a slogan used to communicate the idea that no policy should be decided by any representative without the full and direct participation of members of the groups affected by that policy. The people who are impacted by decisions and planning need to be included. Their lived experience should shape what needs to change or maintain what is working. Having contractors intentionally address inclusion could shift how they think about priorities and projects. As a member of the Consumer Advisory Council, I am always looking for where I can impact change.
I appreciate that, Isaac. I'll remember that too. Montana does have a lot of growth areas, and I think that this is just the start of a conversation as to where inclusion can be occurring at all different levels. And I think an important piece is collaboration with consultants like Isaac and utilization of the Consumer Advisory Council and being engaged at the community level as well. As an early career professional myself, I want to be able to prioritize and seek out skills as to how I can be more inclusive when incorporating inclusion at the state level, and just continue to learn and be open and hear feedback.
I want to thank everyone for taking time to have this conversation. We need to start, and I hope our discussion helps you consider what you will do next to promote inclusion. Ideally, we would move beyond including people with disabilities in the conversation, but to a community that reflects their participation. A place where we all live, work, socialize, and recreate without barriers.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.